up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. And where do all fights start?
Round one.
You know it. So if you're just tuning in, let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of boxing. We got a lot to catch up. Interesting fights over the weekend. I caught up to some of these fights. And we're going to talk about all that. We're also going to talk about anything that's on your boxing mind. I'm going to be reading off some comments people had left me. What's up, Frontline in the building? Salute. I'm going to be reading off some of the comments and answering some of your comments and all that and more. And I'm going to be dropping the link. If you want to discuss anything, you can join me here. And I'll give you a few minutes to explain to the world why do you feel that way. So without further ado, let's get right into this episode, guys. We're going to have an amazing time. Let's go. Like, subscribe, and if you haven't already, become a Round One Sports Talk member. Yo, Frontline, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Did you see some of these fights over the weekend? That Nick Ball, Sam Goodman fight? And did you see Moses Atama fight? You know what he did to Dillian White? And then Raymond Ford and Supernova. I saw that fight as well. And let me break down what I saw and what I thought about those fights too. I think the Raymond Ford Supernova fight was a hell of a fight. I think both men were going back and forth. Raymond, I think he edged it out. Nova started it was kind of like in the Nick Ball fight, but let's just stay there right here first. I felt Raymond Ford looked good. He got hit a lot by Nova, but that's due in part to Nova's fucking skills, Nova looked a little different as a fighter to me. I don't know how he looked to you. What's up? So like, I like his fighting style, but now Nova's gotta like really think here, man. I think he's coming off like, what is it, 3 consecutive straight losses? I should have looked them up. If anybody knows that, can look that up for me. And I was just like, wow, but he's been in some good fights. He's been in some good fights, good fighters, so let's see where Nova goes from here. Only time will tell. Raymond Ford, he's going in the right direction now. Let's see what he does with his career going forward. The fight that had me concerned the most, you know me, right? Is that Nick Ball fight, Sam Goodman. Yo, as soon as that fight kicked off, once again, I saw Sam Goodman fucking bigger than Nick Ball. I saw Sam Goodman outboxing Nick Ball in the middle half of the fight. Yo, Sam Goodman was putting it on Nick Ball, but Nick Ball is a little fucking, boy, that guy tough, right? He kept coming forward, He's kind of like a Esau Pitbull Cruz type fighter, Nick Ball. He just got a little bit more arsenal than Esau Pitbull Cruz, but Esau Pitbull Cruz is starting to develop a better arsenal too. So they kind of fight the same. And once again, I said to myself, bro, this dude is food. Nick Ball is food for Naoya Inoue. He can't beat Naoya Inoue. I'm convinced now, more than ever, after watching that Sam Goodman performance. Sam Goodman bashed his head against the wall and buzzed his face 2 times to avoid fighting Naoya Inoue from what his team saw. And whoever he talked to about Naoya Inoue's victims, hey, what's that power like? Right? Romar Cardenas said it wasn't the power, it was the volume of punches. Bro, as soon as he said that, I was like, wow, that was a man that was really hurt. Right? As soon as he said it, I was like, bro, he's hitting you so hard, you no longer feel it. It's just like a flat boom, boom, and your body's shutting off. Had it not been for those ropes, Roman Cardenas would be in that front row. He falls right out of the ring. Yep. But it wasn't the power. Wasn't power, nah. Wasn't the power that put them lumps on the top of your head. His whole shit was purple. That's not power. No, those are love taps. He's hitting him so hard, he couldn't even identify the power. All right? And Sam Goodman looked amazing against fucking Nick Ball, bro. Right? I'm going to tell you right now, Sam Goodman almost walked out of there with that belt. I'm in an agreement. Man, listen, I thought Sam Goodman won the fight, to be perfectly honest, but I started losing track of the rounds. I got to go back and watch it because I've only watched it once. So forgive me if I didn't really see it with another set of eyes. Now, remind you, I'm looking at this fight unbiasedly. I have no horse in the race. I don't care if Sam Goodman wins. I don't care if fucking Nick Ball wins. I want both of them to win, but one of them has to. Congratulations to Nick Ball. That's how I feel. You know, these two guys are competitors, warriors, but they're not my favorite fighter. They might be yours, but I still cover them because they're great fighters, both of them. Even though I talk shit about Sam Goodman from Australia, Sam Goodman is a warrior. He's laced it up. He's in there rocking and rolling with these dudes. I don't got nothing bad to say about him, but when there's a duck, it's a duck and shit like that. Yeah, we'll be crucial and technical, but I ain't never said any of these fighters suck. Not one of them. So I thought Sam Goodman won that fight. I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, though, Edwin, did he do enough to beat the champion? Did he do enough to take the belt from a champion? You know how they say if the fight is close as a champion, they're going to give it to the champion. They call it a champion nod. And whenever this shit happens, people get offended. No, Lomachenko beat Devin Haney. No, the fuck he didn't. Not for 4 belts. You need to beat Devin Haney convincingly. Loma, I'm sorry, you didn't do that. Devin won that fight. And when we hear the EC, they start yelling robbery in a close fight. It's remarkable. How the fuck is a close fight a robbery? You're saying by definition it's a close fight. People be crazy, right? Right? So I was like, damn, bro. Sam Goodman did, but he was busting Nick Ball up. You seen him cut? He was busting him up at the end. He hit him with a big shot, right? But Nick Ball, bro, his toughness, he kept doing just that little bit. In between rounds, he kept doing that little bit to keep him in the fight. Like boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? So, absolute. What's up, Ace? How you doing? You know? So, he kept doing shit, and I was like, damn, man. He didn't beat Nick Ball convincingly. Nah, he didn't. Nah. And some of those rounds could have been some swing rounds and shit. So I was like, all right, But the fight that impressed me was Moses Atama with Dillian White. I knew Moses was going to beat Dillian White. I didn't think he was going to beat him in the first round. I thought it would be like from 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there. I thought he would finish him. He would soften him up 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, get him out of there. I thought that he was going to be the young kid, a little like not starstruck, but he's heard of Dillian White, why the young kid Moses was coming up. They're on that side of the world. He had to look up and seen fighters like this and say, one day I'm going to be across the ring from you. And that's so real when it happens. Yeah. Yo, he showed him no slack, no mercy. He was very aware, very calculated. He kept his distance, Moses, very well against Dillian White. He didn't overextend in his punches, And that last shot, I thought he grazed him with the shot. Yo, that was flush. Boop. He put Dillian White out, bro. I don't give a fuck if Dillian White's 36 years old. When you're a heavyweight and you don't cut weight, heavyweights longevity is way better than the rest of the division guys. Because heavyweights don't cut weight. They don't put their body and their brains and all their organs through that rigorous weight cut. That's why heavyweight champions be fighting into their late 40s and shit. Most heavyweight champions don't even show no sign of punches, the effects of the punches. Evander Holyfield is starting, but he's good. Mike Tyson, that motherfucker still, I'm spitting out one-liners. When you only seen Mike get his ass kicked was the times in the fucking ring, probably. Mike probably knocked out every sparring partner he had. He didn't get his ass kicked in the gym. Very little damage. Very little. He took some ass whoopings, but the ass whoopings you saw Mike take, those are the ones he got. That's his career right there. He got all his wits about him. But the people that pay the ultimate price are us that we cut weight. When we take those punches, our brain and our water, no one can really tell if you're properly hydrated. If you don't got a fucking strength and conditioning, nutrition coach, a weight cutting team and shit that know exactly what they're doing. Not all of us are privileged to that starting our career. We're guessing shit. Yeah. And we fuck ourselves up. When we finally get some money, it's time to take care of yourself. And people's like, oh, he's taking a year off. Blah, 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 blah. No, he's trying to fix himself. From that 10-year fucking amateur career coming all the way up to getting here to finally getting a couple dollars, right? Because the first money you get, nobody want to hear you paying medical bills. Your family want a car, a chain, a house, right? So you got to get into the position and get yourself to this fight, the fight where you get money. And then you go get the surgeries to take care of yourself. Now you got to fucking train your way back. So it's a bitch. It's a process, bro. And a lot of these fighters and people don't talk about that shit. What's up, Frontline? What you talking about? Well, to be fair, judges can only judge it first one go around. Yeah, that's true. Judging they don't get no second chance, huh? Yeah, once the round is over, the referee walks around, grabs the scorecards, gives it to the official at the other side. When the round and the fight concludes, if it goes to the last and final round, the official tallies up the points, gives it to the ring announcer. The ring announcer grabs it and announces the winner. Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how you judge a boxing match. Now, the criteria to a boxing match varies from country to country and state to state. It's not the same everywhere. And I think that the flaw, I talked about this, I think the flaw in judging, it's not it's not the judging per se. It's the fact that they're flying in these judges from 3 different countries. They got a judge from Peru. They got a judge from fucking Spain. And they got a judge from Mexico. Each of these judges in their home countries been watching them at lower weight, because judges' lifestyle is not all flame and glory. There's only a few judges get that Las Vegas fight. The rest of them got a view fucking in a hotel fucking ballroom. You know what I'm saying? That high school gym fight that they put the ring in the high school with all the bleachers. Those same judges are the ones in Las Vegas sometimes. So a judge's thing is not always, So, okay, I said all of that to say this, that each judge throughout their career has been viewing it different. Like one guy views effective punching over the amount of punches. You could hit me 30 little punches, but if I'm punching you and you're staggering, my punches have more effect on you. And some judges might award forward aggression rather than looking at effective punching. Yeah, you're grabbing, you're clinching. He don't like that shit. Right? So what happens is, I think that the three judges are not on the same page of how they're viewing the fight. You ever get two of the judges, they're like close, and you get that one judge is mad far off? That's that guy they fly in from a fucking, because one boxing promoter goes, no, I don't want judges from here. I got the right to pick a judge. They got a right to pick a judge. And then the committee elects a judge so that it's fair. So like if you're fighting in Mexico and they got all three Mexican judges, hold up. I can see a setup. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fighting in Mexico and all three judges are Mexican. As a matter of fact, they just took a picture with the guy I'm fighting. That's some bullshit, right? You're not going to win. So your promoter got to pick a judge. I'm going to pick an American judge, right? Boom, I'll take an American judge. Then he got to pick, but he can't pick a Mexican judge. So you know what he's going to do? He's going to get a fucking a Guatemalan judge or one of them dudes that are like in the area of Mexico. They cool sometimes. Probably grab one of them. And then the boxing commission, athletic committee, they're going to hire a judge. I don't know where you don't know which one that is until like probably the day of the fight or something, or the week of the fight that they remember who just tried to do some bullshit. Tim Tszyu, when he fought Spencer, right? He told Spencer in the contract, yo, only one judge is going to be Australian. Spencer was American. Spencer wanted an American judge and another judge. The week of the fight, all three judges were Australian. And Spencer was like, oh, hell, yo, what the fuck is this, Tim Tszyu? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm being set up. You know what I'm saying? You guys can look that shit up, right? And that's what I mean. And that's where the flaw in the judging happens. That I don't think that these judges are technically blind or they don't know how to judge fights. Nah, they've been doing it a long time. Problem is that you're taking them from different parts of the world. You're bringing them here, explaining them to like 15 minutes in a room. Listen, we're judging like this, this, and this. That's not going to override their brain of 30 years of watching fights and judging them a certain way. You feel me? And I think that that's where, because it's not like all three judges are on the same viewing process. They all three of them are going with effective punching first. If we had that, we would have somewhere where we can go off. Okay, we know all three judges are going to be, you know, they're going to be scoring it like this. Now we know how to look at the fight. You feel me? But if one judge is viewing it that way, the other one is viewing it another way, and the other one's viewing it another way. You know what I mean? Some judges don't like that running shit. They don't like that shit. Even though Jermaine Ortiz outsmarted Tio and used his feet, was running around, they gave it to Tio. Why? They don't like that running shit. But I felt like Jermaine Ortiz did enough to beat Tio. He outsmarted him. Tio is frustrated, chasing him, telling him to stand in. That's when you knew he had him frustrated. Tio knew he was losing the fight. But the judges didn't like that shit. See? That fight was fixed for Moses. Let's be real. Yo, it wasn't fixed, bro. I think he caught Dillian White cold. Yeah. Look, man. Dillian White, 30, what is he? 36, 37? What is he? How old is he? But right now, right? And he's never been the greatest heavyweight. Dillian White. And by eye test, he's never been as good as Moses is right now. He's never looked like that kid looks, Dillian White, not even in his fucking prime. And I can't say that he was stronger than Moses because Moses can crack. That kid got a punch, bro. And then what I thought was Dillian White just got walked down, right? And I was like, man, Dillian White went in there and fucking put his name on this kid's resume. type shit, right? But when I went and I saw the instant replay told another story. I saw how you could see in Dillian's white eye, he wanted to try to surprise this kid and take him a little bit. He might have been thinking, yeah, he might outlast me, I might gas out, fighting this kid, but I'm really gonna push him. When Dillian White got hit with that shot on the top, that he went like that, yo, he was like out of his wits. And the final punch when he dug down, that you saw the camera zoom in, he caught him flush. It was like, boom. I was like, I think he really, like, Dillian White was like trying to be like, okay, kid, I got you, right? And he was like trying to like beat, and then Moses just kept that good day. He said, and he clipped him, and you saw Dillian go like that. I was like, oh shit, that's that punching power right there. You think Dillian White was gonna go out there and get wiped down like that in front of his friends and family, his wife, his kids? Well, all the memes they're gonna make about him, people sign up for that shit, to get embarrassed like that, to get smacked like that out where you land face first. You know how many memes on their side of the world are going on just because you don't see them here? Nah. Their social media is popping off way different. Way different. We got different algorithms. Dillian White is a meme right now where he live at. He can't even go outside. So sign me up for that shit, because I'm getting a paycheck. Bro, ask Vanilla Ice how his life turned out after they roasted him. He had all the money, but he couldn't go outside. He didn't even want to live. From all the jokes and fucking things they made up that dude. That's a bad place to be at. The internet is undefeated. Like, that shit is like, bro, to be that guy, like, what was his name in the Red Sox? The ball went between his legs and the Red Sox lost the World Series. Bro, his entire family had to move out of Boston, bro. The shit they did to that house, bro, they took shits all over it. They spray paint the side of the house. They put toilet paper all over the trees. That family, they were tortured by the fans. It was sad to see, bro. That story, look it up. Look up the people that let their, like, country down, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, you do some dumb shit in sports, like that soccer player I was saying the other day, whatever country he came from. Bro, he kicked the ball back to his own goalie. It passed his goalie, went in. They lost the game. He got off that plane. They had a firing squad right there, I heard. They gunned him down. They gunned him. Motherfucker, you cost us a championship? Some places it's crazy. Like, so I don't think that everybody's like, oh, this dude took a dive. This dude is this. Bro, for all the people that have money on you and they believed in you going past the third round, they're like, maybe he might not win the fight, but I know he'll go past 3 rounds because Dillian White is tough. Bro, you're going to be walking down the street. They're going to be like, yo, you sold that fight out, huh? Didn't you? How many times is he going to have to explain to people he didn't sell them out? He just got caught. Everywhere, every place he opens, hey, what's up? Did you throw that fight? You laid down, didn't you? I lost money in that fight. You know that, right? Yeah. What about those guys? Bro, no one signs up for that shit, bro. That shit is horrible. If people actually think you took a dive in something, yo, be him. Be that guy. Huh? You know who that is, right? Bro, the entire world knew Sonny Liston was in it with the mob. And he took a dive in that second fight, bro. He ain't never heard the last of it. To this day, there are still fans yelling at him like, fuck you, Sonny, you took a dive. That's Ali telling Sonny to get up because Ali knew he took a dive from a phantom punch. He was never looked at the same. For as dominant as a champion Sonny Liston was, he was a power puncher. George Foreman was scared of him. George Foreman wanted to be like him. He took one dive, bro, that ruined his life. Fuck out of here. These guys are signing up just to take a dive. Yeah, all right. Because you don't see it. You don't live on their side of the world. Not unless you live or you know that dude, that athlete. You see what they go through, bro. Fans are fucking crazy, bro. Maybe you might be able to let it go, laugh about it, whatever. There were people that didn't like what happened in that Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. They still don't. They're not over it. You know, so I don't think that these guys are, you know, like, you really want to be that guy that cost your team. You threw the game. Nah, I don't want to be that kicker. Laces were in. Nah, yo, kickers. Oh my God, anybody quarterback, you fucking throw an interception. You know, get the like. Nah, I don't think people like to sign up for that shit, bro. And if you do, it's not, the money's not worth it. After you see that, you know, but there's players and coaches, and we have history. We have YouTube, man. We remember the people that get shamed like that. So every fucking athlete at the top level knows that shit. Nobody wants to be a meme. Yo, I don't want to be on the poster and on the slam dunk poster. I want to be the dude dunking, not the one with the dude with his nuts in his face like this, like, ah. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be him in the poster. He's like, his nuts in your face, like, and he's dunking on you, like, ah. You know what I mean? No, you don't want to be him. You know what I mean? Fuck that. What's up, Alberto? Can I see the chat? Yeah, what's up? Whoever. How is the stream going? Yo, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Key? Kias? What up, bro? I'm blind as fuck. Ice, ice, baby. Yo, that dude, yo, Vanilla, he ain't never recovered, right? That motherfucker still can't go outside sometimes. You know what I mean? That's just a shame, bro, for, you know, the kind of shit contribution he did to the pop culture and shit. It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? You don't want to be that dude. And like right now, you know, my boy Alberto's in here, so you know, I gotta you know, boost up his morale. You know what I'm saying? How are the Dominican fighters doing right now? How many champions do they have right now currently? Shit was just all good just a week ago, right? right. Yo, listen, Alberto, like, listen, the thing is, every sport, you're down. The best thing to do is just get up, you know. And I believe a lot in some of these Dominican dudes. I'm not writing them off. So much, in fact, that I'm going September 5th. I'm gonna be at the Sereno fight, and I have credentials to that fight, so I'm gonna be backstage. Hopefully, I get Henry and Yuri Cedeno because they're usually together. Both brothers are at each other's fights all the time. So I've talked to both fighters before on my show, on my platform, but I'm trying to get better content with them and talk to them. I think both of those brothers got the potential to be champions. Now, they're both in tough divisions. Yes, they're in tough divisions. Yes, they are. Okay. but I believe in time they will. I believe that they will. So I got my money on them. I still got my money on Rohan Polanco. You know, Rohan Polanco, the fighter's gonna have a fight that you ever see a fighter have a fight and you say to yourself, don't judge that fighter on that fight. That was basically a learning curve. He had an off night or this and that or whatever. All fighters are entitled to that. Like I'm telling you, there's some fights that you see. Like I told you guys against Jaron Boots Ennis and Karen. I said, yo, don't judge Jaron Boots Ennis on that fight. Let him have that one. Like I'm saying right now against Devin Haney, against Jose Ramirez. I said, listen, don't judge Devin Haney on that fight. Superior fighters having all they can't get a beat on the guy. This guy has awkward movement, but don't hold him to that fight, bro. Trust me. But he didn't look good. Rohan. He didn't look like the typical Rohan, okay? So, and that was doing part to his opponent. Give his opponent credit, right? Okay. But I still like Rohan to be a champion. Yeah. Yeah. He didn't lose, did he? All right then. So he's still in the motherfucking mix. So they got it. They just gotta do their thing. What's up? You confusing Alberto with Antonio? No, but didn't Alberto say some things about Dominican fighters and shit too? I don't know. I thought that was him. Maybe it was the other one, right? Antonio. I know Antonio, right? Antonio's the dark skinned Dominican dude, right? But I thought Alberto had said something about Dominican fighters on the line one time or something. Maybe I'm getting confused. But anyway, it gets me to talk about other fighters, so it really doesn't matter. It's not like I'm talking bad about any of them. Just in case you love these fighters too as well. And there are a lot of great fights, guys. Like, I'm still getting used to that Saudi fucking card, bro. That shit is ridiculous, my man. And another thing is, right? Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to read off some of you guys' chats and shit and messages, right? Okay, I got a message a few hours ago, right? Like 3 hours ago, right? From a guy named Yansky, Yansky, Yanassi. Yansky. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, man. All right. So he texts me, right? And he tells me, he says, everything that Inoue did, Bud did first. That's why Bud is number one. Not only undisputed twice, like Inoue, but he did it against Spence, who was an unbeatable welterweight at the time. So he goes on to say more, right? Okay. But and I want to answer that too. I was going to stop there and answer it, but I just want to read off everything that he said too, so that you fully okay. So the best welterweight at the time. In a way, second undisputed was not against a great. That said, I love Naoya Inoue's accomplishments, and I have him with Usyk as number two. Usyk can't undispute in another weight class except going down. But the size difference with the giants of the heavyweight class makes Usyk even more amazing. If Bud beats Canelo, Inoue would have to move up, right, to be undisputed at 130 or 135 and beat a pound for pound fighter in order to surpass Bud. No hate, shade on Inoue. Okay. I mean, that sounds good. It sounds good. I get what he was saying, but his logic is not good. It's not good. he said in the first line, right? And I'm not taking no shots to this guy. I'm just gotta answer it with facts. I gotta answer it with facts, right? He said that Crawford did it first, and that the reason why Crawford's number one is because he beat an unbeatable, which only means that Errol Spence was undefeated at the time, and he was a unified world champion. He had 3 belts, right? Okay. Now I view that much different. I view it as Terrence Crawford did it at a weaker. He fought one guy that had 3 belts. He didn't have to go out and chase each guy, first of all. He only fought one guy that had 3 of them. Right? So, okay, you could call him undisputed. All right, fine. And he was the unbeaten one. Okay. But Naoya Inoue did exactly that. Naoya Inoue beat Stephen Kubo Fulton. Undisputed. Unified, and unbeaten champion. Stephen Kubo Fulton had 2 belts. And he was undefeated. Nonito Donaire is an elite fighter and a Hall of Famer. Right? Okay. So there is no fighter on Terrence Crawford's resume that's a 3-division world champion or a 4-division world champion. Unless he beats Saul. Name me one guy on Terrence Crawford's wait a minute. Talk is cheap, bro. Talk is fucking cheap, bro. Hold up. Terrence Crawford. Right? Okay. Listen to me. We're not going to lie here. We're not going to sugarcoat anything. And this is no shot to Terrence Crawford. This is my guy. I love him. And I'm an American. And I got Terrence Crawford first above anybody. Right? So Terrence Crawford's my guy. But what's right is right. Okay? All right. This is Mr. Terrence Crawford, 75% knockout ratios. As you can see, his nickname is Bud. He's 5'8", 74-inch arm reach. Great. As we go through Terrence Crawford's, let's see. How many divisions was Sean Porter, how many divisions did he have? How many divisions did Kell Brook have? I think Kell Brook has 2 divisions. Right? Ricky Burns. Nah, he don't got Yuri Gamboa. Yuri Gamboa is a 3-division world champion, right? No? How many divisions does Yuri have? Let's look him up. Why don't we look up Yuri? Bingo. Okay. How many okay, wait a minute. Where's his Wikipedia? Why don't we just go to his Wikipedia? Boom. Trainer, manager, title fight, 5-3. That's amateur, professional career. Damn, they do him dirty like that? Well, nope. Nope. No good. No bueno. Nope. Doesn't qualify. Is there anybody on Terrence Crawford's resume like that? Errol Spence Jr. was only a 1-division world champion. He only had 3 belts in 1 division. Amir Khan. Amir Khan did some shit. I don't think at the time he was moving up. He was never successful. Yeah, nah. Kell Brook neither. Sean Porter, nope. Errol, nope. Nope. And that's it. When Naoya Inoue fought Nonito Donaire, he was already a 3-division world champion. He was already a 3-division world champion. Who the hell did Terrence Crawford fight that was a 3-division world champion? He fought one guy with 3 belts. Nah, he ain't never fought nobody like that. No. And then on top of it, when we look at Terrence Crawford's record, right? Which he had an impressive record streak going on, right? I think it started from, let's see, where did it start? Okay, let's go from here. Okay. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. From Victor Postol, he had 11 consecutive knockouts in world title fights. Terrence Crawford, right? And Naoya Inoue tied him. Terrence Crawford's never defended all 4 belts. Naoya Inoue has defended him a record-breaking, what is it right now? What is it, 4 times now? It's 4 times now. Check this out, guys. Nasty work. In the 154 pounds on BoxRec. Look, you know, because they have a picture of a champion to describe like the best champion of the division. So they got Saul up. Look. You know, Demetrius Bivol up, you know, representing his division. Look, you know what I'm saying? Uzyk's representing his division. Check out. Look who they got representing in the 154. Yo, that's crazy work. Crazy work. A non-champion. Crazy work. Instead of putting one of the champions, they put him, Virgil Ortiz. Crazy work. See? Look. And they used to have Tank Davis. And then Shakur Stevenson proved to the world that he's still Shakur Stevenson. They took Tank Davis's picture out and put Shakur's picture in. You see? And look, Nick Ball went back. He's back on fire, you know? And of course, Naoya Inoue's there, keeping his picture alive, right? But them dirty motherfuckers didn't even put my little Puerto Rican brother, right? They didn't even give it to him. They didn't put Xander up there, newly acquired WBO champion. Nah, they put this dude. Virgil Ortiz, the guy that claims to be a champion. Yo, it's crazy work, nasty work, BoxRec. Oh, man. Listen. So, what I'm saying is this, man. Look, I'm not going to take shots at Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford's my dude. But, my man, like, just because somebody does it first doesn't make you the best at it. You feel me? You could do it. Oh, yeah, he did it first. But he did it and Usyk did it. Now Terrence Crawford's not unique. He ain't unique. What makes you unique is that you're in a room by yourself, right? Mayweather, for fighting the most champions, he's in that room himself. There has been no world champion that fought as many world champions as Mayweather. Now, a lot of people are going to argue that those stats are padded, right? Meaning, when he fought the guy at the time, the guy didn't have the belt. He was just a former world champion. Yeah, you're supposed to get credit for that because he's world champion material. At one point in his life, he had a world title. And if you beat him, then you beat a former world champion. See what I'm saying? So when a guy's coming up and fighting a former world champion and he beats that guy, so you go, oh, my fighter beat a former world champion, and you're giving him credit for that. But when he retires, you don't want to acknowledge it? You see how the game is played? But anyway, some of these accolades and awards, Terrence, it's not in the room anymore. The only way Terrence Crawford can separate himself right now is beating Saul, which many of us don't think that's going to happen. I'm praying it does. I got Terrence in the fight. And the thing is that when you talk about Terrence Crawford and that Japanese dude, Naoya Inoue, you got to be honest. Terrence Crawford fights 1 time a year for the past 6 years, right? I know he got that 2 little fight in, Just before he fought Errol, he had that fight where he had the malfunction with the gloves. And that was basically twice in 1 year. It goes past the calendar, but the distance, it was only like 8 months. It wasn't a full year. So he kind of fought twice in one of those years. But on average, the rest of the time, for the past 6 years, 7 years, he's only fought one time a year. Naoya Inoue is going to fight in September. This will be his third fight this year. He's going to close the year out in December. He'll have 4 fights a year. Naoya Inoue fights 4 times a year. Not only is he fighting 4 times a year, what does he offer? What does Terence Crawford offer you if you fight him right now? What can he offer you? 1 belt? That's all he has. Oh, and that O he has, that's valuable. His O, all O's ain't created equal. No, but Terence Crawford's O, that's valuable. Nah, not that. He's a 2-time undisputed world champ, unified undisputed world champ. No, his O is fucking strong. So he offers you the chance of beating him and 1 belt. And probably a decent payday. Probably. Okay? That's what Terence Crawford brings to the table. He brings himself, his skills, the danger of fighting him, 1 belt, the fact that you could beat him for his O, and you might get a pretty lucrative payday. That's what he offers. Okay? Now, what does the Japanese do to offer you? The Japanese O, that's strong. He's also a 2-time all 4 belts in 2 separate weight divisions, and he's also undefeated. That O he has, very powerful. Very powerful. You be the first man to beat him. Very powerful O, right? What does he bring to the table? 4 belts. He can change your life in 1 fight. You beat Terence Crawford for that 1 belt. Are you going to Hall of Fame for 1 belt? Are you? No. You're not even scratching the surface with 1 belt. There are thousands of guys that got 1 belt, ain't touching the Hall of Fame. Right? What does Naoya Inoue bring to the table? 4 belts. Are you going to the Hall of Fame for 4 belts? You're damn right. 1 fight, you're going to the Hall of Fame. You're an undisputed world champion in whatever weight division. All 4 belts, you're going to the Hall of Fame. You're going to get a good paycheck. I think it's going to be probably the highest paycheck you've ever gotten, probably, fucking around with Naoya Inoue, right? So he brings a great paycheck, a Hall of Fame status, and that O, that you were the first man to beat him. Can you say rematch? Huh? He offers a lot more. If you were to beat Terence Crawford today, you only beat a 1 belt champion. That's it. But you're going down as a guy that beat Terence Crawford, though. I can't front. You're gonna get famous for that shit, right? Right? That's huge. That's huge. I'm not sure you'll go to Hall of Fame off his name alone. Oh, he beat Terence Crawford. So we're supposed to let him walk into the Hall of Fame because he beat 1 guy? We're going to let him walk. The only reason why they would consider Buster Douglas is because he beat Mike Tyson for undisputed status. Bernell Hopkins lost to Taylor twice. He's going to the Hall of Fame, bro. Off Bernell Hopkins' fucking career. Terence Crawford didn't play that shit. Terence Crawford said, I ain't going to work a lifetime, get all 4 belts, and give you the opportunity of a lucky punch, right? Because let's just face it. When you're talking about Terence Crawford and Naoya Inoue, okay, fine, let's talk about them. Who is more dominant in their career? Apparently, some people feel Terence Crawford is. Really? Terrence Crawford has been more dominant than Naoya Inoue in his entire career up to present day, up to today. There's no way. Where's my proof? I'll prove it to you. I'll put up the chart again, Terrence Crawford's chart, if you would like me to do this, or if you'd like me to take my word for it, or you at home can pull up a chart, because if I don't want to have to wipe off the tears right now. You can do that and you can find out the truth by yourself with me, okay? The reason why Naoya Inoue is clearly more dominant than Terrence Crawford, okay. How many rounds has Terrence Crawford lost throughout his career? I'll wait. He was losing that fight against Sean Porter. He was losing some of them. Listen, there's been a lot of rounds where Terrence Crawford, in moments, in fights, he was going into like the 7th, 8th, and he was losing the fight. In every one of his fights, when's the last fight besides Errol Spence Jr. did he pitch a shutout like that? When he got dropped in that fight with that Russian dude, that dude was putting the Beats by Dre on him. Israel Madachek, how many rounds did he lose there? How many rounds did he lose? Wait a minute. Talk is cheap, bro. Are we doing that talking thing again? Because I'm going to tell you right now. Wait a minute. Where is he? Where did they got Terrence Crawford? They don't even got his face up. Where? Oh yeah, they got a real one right here. And fucking okay, check it out, right? By the way, Terrence, it took Terrence, what was it? 20 something fights for his first world title fight. Look, no world title fights, 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 no world title fights. WBO, NOBO, lightweight, vacant. That's not a world title. World title fight right here against Ricky Burns. That was his first world title fight, Terrence Crawford, at 135. You see that, right? Ricky Burns says it right there. WBO, right? It's clear, right? So that's where he fought. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22. So the 23rd, it was his 23rd fight. He finally got a world title fight. Naoya Inoue, in his 5th professional fight, he fought for a world title. We went into the fight, his 6th fight. He only had 5 fights coming into his first world title fight. 5. Since then, he's had 25 consecutive world title fights in a row. In a row. Listen, we were talking about how many rounds did you think Terrence Crawford has lost? As the names are going by, remember the fights in your head. These are still 4 8-round fights. This is when things get interesting. Right here. He went the distance with Ricky. He beat the brakes off Ricky Burns, man. I don't think Ricky Burns won a round. Oh, these were a couple tough fights. Victor Posto gave him the business too. This is when he wiped him out. Jeff Horn was, he wiped out Jeff Horn. No, that's the one he wiped out was Jeff Horn. He really, yeah, that's right. I was getting him a little confused with fucking Ricky Burns, right? But Jeff Horn was the one. Jeff Horn had he had orange shorts on in that fight with I think a black stripe. Terrence Crawford went out to his hometown and wiped him down, bro. Like wiped him down. I don't think when he fought Jose Benavidez, that's post gunshot wound to the leg, right? So David's older brother Jose fought Terrence Crawford, his first fight back, coming back prematurely from a gunshot wound to his leg. So Terrence beat him with a gunshot wound to his leg. Amir Khan came up. How many weight divisions to fight him? This was a tough fight. The Kell Brook fight was a tough fight. The Sean Porter fight was a little tough. Sean Porter was awkward, real awkward for him. David Amnesian was a tough fight too. You know, Errol Spence Jr. He wiped Errol. He didn't lose no rounds in there. And then Israel Madachek, he lost a couple rounds in there in between. Yeah. So that speaks to his kind of like he didn't win the majority of all his rounds. Yeah, Terrence Crawford was pretty dominant, yeah, but he was down in a lot of scorecards. I remember. If you were to look up Naoya Inoue, this little freaking Japanese dude, this dude is amazing, bro. He's freaking amazing, man. This dude, man, listen, it's fucking remarkable. He's really doing some video game shit. I can't front, man. Bro, he just, from the beginning of his career, he was an 8-round fight, bro. He didn't lose no rounds here. He didn't lose no rounds in this fight. He didn't lose no rounds in this fight. And this fight was tough. This fight right here, if you got a chance, go Rauchi, Ciccone. That was a banger. Now, he might have lost a round or two with this kid. Right? That was a good fight. You gotta give him credit for that. That was he held his ground with Naoya Inoue, bro. He really did. Where are we? Okay, he didn't lose no rounds there. He didn't lose no rounds there. He might have lost 1 or 2 there. Nope, none there. None there. No rounds there. No rounds there. That was a wipeout. That was a wipeout. He tortured him. That was a wipeout. Ricardo Rodriguez. How was that fight? Well, it only went 3 rounds. He wiped him out. Neves was the school teacher from New York. He wiped him out. They stopped the fight. They threw in the towel. No mas. He didn't win a single round. Jason Maloney, that was 1-round fight. Juan Carlos Payano, 1-round fight. Emmanuel Rodriguez, 2-round fight. In the Nonito Donaire fight, he lost a couple rounds. I think he lost the round. Definitely was round number 2 where he got his orbital bone broken, and he might have lost the 9th round in that fight. I also gave Donaire, I think it was like, there was another round I gave him, I think, but that's it. He didn't lose no rounds here, 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 no rounds there, no rounds there, no rounds there, no rounds there, no round. Oh, no, wait. I'll back that shit up. Luis Pantera Nari, he lost the round in that fight. He got dropped by Luis Pantera Nari. What round did he get dropped in? Luis Pantera Nari dropped him. What round was it? Luis Pantera Nari dropped Naoya Inoue in the 2nd round? It was early in the fight. Was it the 2nd or the 1st round? And then he got dropped by Roman Cardenas in the 2nd or some shit. Right? Am I getting them confused? But either way, Naoya Inoue lost that fucking round. That was a 10-8 round for Luis Nari, right? But that's the only round he lost. It's the only round he lost. He didn't lose none to TJ Doheny. He didn't lose any rounds to Yi Young Kim. He lost 1 round to Roman Cardenas. When he got dropped by Roman Cardenas, I don't give a fuck if he was winning the round. He might have won that round, Naoya, but you gotta give him a 10-8 round. Probably can give him a fucking 9-9. You know what I'm saying? Nah, let's give Cardenas that fucking round at least, all right? Let's give him that round. So Naoya Inoue, man, if you were to go through his entire resume with a fine-tooth comb, you might find a few rounds he lost in his career. That's dominance, bro. That's fucking dominance, bro. That's video game shit, bro, right there. It really is, man. Yeah, I gotta respect them, bro. I still got Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I love Terrence and shit, but Terrence is the best for the Americans. He's just the best for the Japanese. Yeah, because you guys know it. I can't give Naoya Inoue all the credit right now because, unfortunately, for boxing, you can't tally up your career until it's all said and done. We're like painters. Yeah, We don't get our flowers all the time while we're still in it. You know what I'm saying? They appreciate you more when you're gone. It's fucked up, right? You know, you can't be called the GOAT in boxing while active. Because we all know these guys don't retire well. Then all of a sudden he's fighting in his 40s, getting knocked out of the ring. He got knocked out his last 5 fights. Is that the GOAT? You got to seal the deal. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end to your career. If Naoya Inoue goes crazy and says, nah, I don't want to retire, and starts fighting to his fucking 50s, 60s, then all of a sudden we see Naoya Inoue with a little too much sake getting knocked out his last 10 fights. He loses that status. You got to know how to be disciplined. That's how fighters like Manny Pacquiao ruined their career. Roy Jones ruined his career. You know, Roy Jones should be talked about in a better category. That man was vicious. Mike, a 20-year-old young fucking heavyweight like that doing that. Mike Tyson fought 14 times in a calendar year. He fought like 4 more times. He fought, and some of those months, he fought twice a month. Mike Tyson, young Mike Tyson, at 19 years old. He fought 14 times in 1 year. We talking about Naoya Inoue fighting 4 times a year? Mike fought 14 times in 1 year. Them dudes was different. Them dudes is different. Talk about you're getting fucking pound for pound status for fighting once a year. That's where we're at in boxing. That's where we're at, people. Just because Terrence Crawford's my guy, I gotta lie. I just gotta come up here and say, no, fuck that. He's better than Naoya Inoue. Bro, I can't do that. I can't do it, man. I can't drive myself to do it. Bro, I know what it's like to be that little dude, picked last on the basketball team. I know, and then go out there and shit on these big dudes to prove that you belong. Always shitting on the little guy, bro. The little guy got to do twice the amount hard work to get noticed. That's what's going on here. I just want you guys to pay attention to that. I can't ignore this dude, bro. He's not fighting tomato cans. Bro, these guys are fighters, bro. Did you see what kind of fighter Naoya Inoue made Roman Cardenas? How many of y'all people knew who Roman Cardenas was? First of all, how many of you know who he is right now? But the world remembers how he dropped Naoya Inoue. Do you know how that man locked in? Do you have any idea the carrot that was dangling in front of his face? When he went to sleep at night, what do you think he thought of? How in one night, one fight can change your entire life. You will who the fuck was Buster Douglas before he knocked out Mike Tyson? Please, who was he? But the world remembers his name. The world would forever know his name because of the monster he beat. You will forever, your name will ring bells off what he built, not what you built. Funny, huh? Buster Douglas didn't beat all those champions like Mike did. Buster Douglas didn't fight half the dudes Mike did. Right? He didn't have all 3 belts, nothing. One fight, bro. And because who Mike was, he got his fucking legend. Man, listen. Naoya Inoue brings a lot to the table, bro. A lot in one fight, bro. There ain't people bringing that shit to the only people is like Saul now and Usyk. Those are tough assignments. Both those men are not stupid. And remarkably, both of them are talented fighters. A lot of talent. Don't hold Saul Canelo Alvarez to that William Skull fight. It was at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, these motherfuckers, they want to get out of bed and chase this dude down. Don't hold him to that. Don't. Saul's going to come out and fight Terrence. Terrence is always too important, too valuable to the Mexicans. And in a competitive sport, U.S. has been spanking them and when it counted the most. Mexico can beat up on a lot of U.S. lower fights, but when Mexico threw everything they had at Floyd, they couldn't beat him. Floyd spanked all those Mexicans and walked off laughing. Now the Mexicans have an opportunity to beat our undefeated champion. You know what I'm saying? Mexico, when's the last time Mexico had an undefeated world champion or unified? Undefeated. Who's the last Mexican champion that went up weighted that was undefeated? Meanwhile, we got Ward, Floyd, look like Shakur might do it. Tank may do it. Fucking Terrence is doing it. We're constantly undefeated. So to take them down, you see, Saul's not going to retire undefeated. So he got nothing to lose. What they want to do is take away our O. And Terrence Crawford sold it to the highest bidder. Smart man, smart businessman. Because risky, hell yeah, bro. No, there's no human in the world that ever did some shit like this, guys. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Castaño beat Floyd. He probably did. Probably did. I'm not going to argue with that with you. You know, there's a lot of fighters that skate by narrow victories. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he did enough to beat the champion like Floyd. Nah, you saw the second fight. Floyd picked him apart. But that first fight was a tough one. Even Madonna. The Madonna fight. Madonna knocked out his tooth. Floyd's. You know, you just not, there's no fucking Superman, bro. There's no Superman in the world, bro. These guys are in fights. They're going to get hit. Naoya Inoue got dropped twice. He fought 10 rounds with a broken orbital bone and a broken nose. You're in a fight. You know what I'm saying? So Floyd, he had some close ones. But did he do enough to beat the champion? And if the fight's close, they're going to give the champion what we consider the champion's nod. We talk about it, right? Right? So, and the thing with this is, you know, the Americans, we're so fucking ahead of the curve, right? I talked about this about a year ago on my show. I remember I brought this up, right? In order to have rivalries and to at least make it competitive, we got to be close. We have to, a little close. Because if we're talking world titles, America crushes everybody. It's not even fucking close. The next country to us, we're like 300 world titles ahead of them. Which I think it's the UK and Mexico. Right? Japan's on there too. I think Puerto Rico is like 5th, which is remarkable. That little ass island, Puerto Rico, is fucking around with those big boys. You know how many people in America live in America? All of America. Fuck out of here, bro. There's probably more people in New York City than there is in fucking Puerto Rico by itself. There's probably more people in New York City by itself than all of Puerto Rico. Fuck out of here, bro. Puerto Rico's holding its weight, man. To be considered, yo, that's fucking remarkable. You don't understand the amount of people. That means Puerto Rico's producing a world champion every fucking, yo, that's a strong little country, bro. Talk about the country that can. you're not supposed to be talked up there. Not with fucking Europe, not with Mexico and shit. They're huge. Those are a lot of that's a lot of people, bro. We're not supposed to be there with them. Supposed to be like fucking 12th on the list or some shit. We're like 5th. We're technically we should be way down, Puerto Rico as a country. But they punch well above their weight. They really do, bro. Yeah, man. So I said all of that to say this, that in order to make it competitive, we need to draw a line in the sand. We really do, guys. Just, just to make it competitive, like, and then take off from there. Like, let's like announce it into the sport of boxing. Like, we're not throwing away titles. They're there. They're there. We have that many. But let's say in 2026, the boxing world announces that starting from this point on, right here, we're all even. Let's see who in the next 10 years, to give the countries, every country, a fair start. And let's see who lays on top in 5 years or 10 years. And we'll do it every decade. And then we'll go from there. Because I don't think in the next 100 years any country is going to catch us or even come close. That means that US would have to stop winning world titles for like 10 years. I don't see that happening. We're constantly pushing out talent. We got waves of kids right now. I think Camille Mo is gonna be a champion. Abdullah Mason's gonna be a champion. Tiger fight Tiger. Man, listen, we got a lot of. We're not gonna stop winning world titles. We would have to stop winning world titles for like fucking 10 years, bro. And I don't think they would catch us. So I think we should draw a line in the sand to make it even, and really like, and I'm not saying like get like not acknowledge what happened. Yeah, we can acknowledge it, but just for competitive sake or something, make it fair. Let some of these other countries beat their chest and say America, because every time they even fucking step up, like they win a good match and yeah, we beat America. America is ruthless. Shut the fuck. You ain't got more titles than us. We'll shut them down in arguments. It's not even close or fair. And I don't think that should be, I would like for them to be able to talk. I think it would make it more interesting. We wouldn't be so spoiled, and it would make our kids fight harder too. Yeah, because if the UK dudes was popping shit, like you know what I'm saying, like it would make us fight. I don't know, man. I just want to make it more challenging, more competitive. Yeah, yeah, and then maybe one day Puerto Rico will be on top for 10 years. You know what I mean? Hey, what up, guys? That's just the city. Yeah. What's up, Bang Bang? That fucking New York City got way more people than PR, bro. Come on, guys. Like, what up, George? George sends a boxing glove emoji, uh, 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 a pump up emoji. How's that? A arm emoji, strong emoji, Puerto Rico emoji. And Frontline, all he's doing is sending out beers around to everybody else. Salute, peace, boxing emoji, PR in the building, power hand, beers for everyone. There we go. And again, yeah, guys. But no. Like, I like to always talk boxing, all these interesting things. How do you guys see the Saul Canelo Alvarez fight with Terrence Crawford? Now, I got to be honest with myself. I don't see Terrence knocking him out. I don't. But I do see a scenario where Terrence can outbox him. Yeah. I do see a scenario where Terrence could outbox Saul. And Saul's not that tall of a man, because at least Terrence is like right there with him, right? Okay. If Terrence can sustain it, you know what I mean? With that weight, and he can move, stay on it. I think Saul can crack still. You know, he dropped big ass Berlanga's ass, and he's probably dropped almost all the fighters he's came in except William Skull. You know what I'm saying? Because he ran, he just wouldn't be. He didn't want to engage. Saul's tough, man. He's fucking. Ugh. Had it been any other champion, I say Terrence can do this. Say if Terrence would have went up there and fought somebody else. Well, it all depends. It all depends. Because I don't think he could beat Demetrius Bivol up there. No, I don't. Or David the Monster Benavidez. No, I'm sorry, Terrence. That might be a rough assignment. You put him in with like a big fighter like a David, he's big for the division. Mm-mm. I don't. Those are. But anybody else, bro, you take like the lesser guys. What man, like Jaime Munguia, or you put Edgar Berlanga in front of Terrence Crawford, or you put he can beat those guys. Terrence can beat those guys. I have faith that he'll beat those guys, those kind of guys. But it's fucking Saul we're talking about here, guys. Are you shitting me? Iron Chin Saul Canelo Alvarez, the dude that took a full-fledged knockout punch from Triple G and smiled at him. That you could see Triple G, his face told you the entire story. I dare you go back and watch that. When Triple G hit Saul with that punch, that he dropped it on him, where Triple G himself dropped his weight and came over the top. Thumb down. He hit Saul like this. Boop. Saul went. And look at his eyes. He was like, he knew he caught him flush. That's when you hit a ball, you know it's a home run. From the second you hit it, you know it's a home run. From the second you punch somebody in the jaw, you know you caught him right. Night, right? You know what happened? Saul was that outfielder that jumped over the wall, and caught your ball. It was a home run, but his skills caught up to you. He took your home run away. Triple G would have knocked out any other human on planet Earth with that shot. Melo Pico. I'll cut it off if that's a lie. Triple G would have knocked out anybody else with that fucking punch, bro. I guarantee it. And Saul went, shing. Let's go. What's up? You know what? He went, order monk. Let's go. Now you're talking, huh? All that did was fuel the man. If you don't know who Triple G is, first go watch his videos. Go watch The Massacre. Yo, he was putting dudes' jaws over here. Dudes were going out like this. With Triple G fights. You see them, they're like this. Dudes are overwhelmed by a Triple G punch. Like, yo, Saul got hit with it. Orale Simon! Yo, like, fuck out of here, bro. Terrence is gonna crack that jaw. Yeah, right. Not unless Saul becomes chinny overnight, and I don't see that happening. So there's no way he's gonna hurt Saul to the body or to the chin. Floyd tore up Saul's body. Plenty of fighters got to Saul's body. He's not that hard to miss. You could hit him, but at what cost? See, Saul is a real technical fighter. He'll wait for that shot sometimes. He'll let you get off to get his off. And if he hurts Terrence in that fight, Saul is so technical, has so much boxing experience that he's gonna break down Terrence patiently and methodically. And I'm gonna fear for Terrence Crawford. That's why I said that Terrence sold his O to Saul, which was probably the best thing to do with that Saudi money. You mean to tell me for a 14-year career, or whatever it is that Terrence has, for all those punches to the face, how much money did he make? In one fight, if I agree to fight this guy, we don't know the dollar amount Turkey's paying him. That one fight for that and by the way, that doesn't mean you just sold it to him. No, that got you in the entrance. That that Terrence Crawford has is so powerful that is what got him to the dance. His undefeated streak is what got him to the dance. Not his 2 division all 4 belts, because he doesn't own them. So you can't fight him for something he once had if he doesn't own it. The one thing he owns is his undefeated. That's what he owns. And fucking, so that got him there. So he sold his for an opportunity at this payday. But by doing so, they also told him, yeah, that got you there, but you do have the right to keep it. You're sacrificing it, but you do have the right to win it back. Doesn't mean you got to lose. So wait a minute. You mean to tell me you're going to pay me the most money because of what I established throughout my career is what got me here? Sign me, and I got a chance of winning? Sign me up. Sign me up. I'll put up my undefeated record against your 4 belts in your fucking 3 weight classes up there. Bet. How much money you say? How many zeros in the back of that check? Terrence made himself the fighter to deserve the right to be here. And it was his decision to sacrifice his career. That's his career. Those are, after boxing, those are his kids. That's the house he wants to build. That's the kind of family, that's the kind of life he's building for himself, right? I think it was a wise decision. I can't say it was wrong. At some point, what did you build all this up for? Just like Nick Ball said, not in this last past fight, but a few fights past, he said, what do you think I got this belt for? This belt represents, for one, all my hard work, but it also opens the doors for those money fights, opportunities. I have something you want. Same thing Paul Butler did with Naoya Inoue. Nobody thought Paul Butler was going to fight Naoya Inoue, but for that money, Paul Butler said, bet, what do you think I got this? We're called prize fighters. I got something you want. Let me see how much you're willing to pay. That's all it takes, right? Sometimes. You see what I'm saying? So, hey, yo, man. Look. Let's be clear. Let's be honest, people. Right? Naoya Inoue is amazing, right? But if Terrence Crawford pulls that 3 division 4 belts and no, you can't take the fact that he beats out because he's already been beaten. So, but you could take his 4 belts though, right? And you could walk your career, the rest of your career, out undefeated and right off into the sunset. You know, I don't know if Terrence is going to do that, if he'll gamble to fight another fight or a rematch. I don't know. But if Terrence pulls that off, there's no way Naoya Inoue can be better than him in number 1 pound for pound. Terrence will take the pound for pound spot back over. I think rightfully so. Naoya Inoue should be the number 1. It shouldn't be Usyk. Usyk only has 2 divisions. Naoya has 4. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. The jump that's Terrence Crawford is doing right now, Naoya Inoue did that. He bypassed 115 into 112 and went to the 115. What was it? How do you do it? Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to bring him up, I think. Okay, he went from 108. He went from 108 to 115, straight to 115. From 108 pounds, he jumped passed the 112 division and went right to the 115 division. So that's 2-weight division jump. Naoya Inoue did that. He already did that. Terrence Crawford just became a 4-division world champion when he fought Ishmael. Naoya Inoue has been a 4-division world champion since he fought Stephen Kubo Fulton. And he's already going to defend all 4 belts 4 times already. He already tied Saul Canelo Alvarez for the most title, a person to defend all 4 belts. Saul had the most. He defended all 4 belts the most in our era, and Naoya Inoue just tied him. So remarkable shit. Shut up, fucking. Another prospect for he's fighting a 4-0, 3 KO streaks. Carlos de Leon Castro on the January Paul card. Oh, the January Paul card. That's what you said. Kind of fucked me up there. I was like, does he know his name's Jake Paul? No, but anyway, it's not him. Jose Cruz, Puerto Rican population is 3.2. 3.2. Shit, there's 3 million people in Times Square. New York's so big they had to name it twice. New York, bro. What is the population in New York? Like 14 million? What is it? Look that shit up. There's no way there's more people in fucking Puerto Rico than there is in fucking New York City. That's impossible. That's impossible. I'll bet that bet. And I don't even know the math on it. I'm confident New York got more people than Puerto Rico. Just by themselves. They'll crush them. Hell yeah. Plus, half the Puerto Ricans from Puerto Rico are in New York. So you got to count them for America. Even if you was to count all the Puerto Ricans in New York and the Puerto Ricans in Puerto Rico, you still wouldn't be the population in New York. Nah. Spanish Harlem got a lot of Puerto Ricans, but New York's too big, bro. There's too many nations there. If you think about this, they're like, oh, yo. This part of the world is the most dangerous. This part of the world is the most dangerous. It's the most dangerous part here. Bullshit. United States is the most dangerous place on this planet. There is no country more dangerous than us. They're all here with us. Think about it. All those killers, all those countries, they're here. They're doing that shit right here. Our gangs everywhere. There's nowhere that can. You better look at some of these freaking United States, what's going on in some of these cities. Go to Oakland, San Francisco. Go to Philly. Go to. Yeah, them places more dangerous than U.S. I've walked down U.S. streets. They might shoot you worse because you might be in. They don't got better cops, but you fuck around with our cops and let our military come outside. You fucked. Why you think them people don't kill like that? Some of them do. They'll cut some heads off. They'll do this, do that. You don't hear about it in the newspaper, but I'm telling you right now, when we catch up to them dudes is no more. There's no arrest warrants. You guys don't believe that, right? U.S. plays just as dirty as the rest of the other countries. They have to. That's why we're safe. If they kill one U.S. person, what you probably don't know, what I don't know, we don't got clearance, is that we probably kill 1,000 of them. We put so much fear that it doesn't happen. Americans are usually killing Americans, to tell you the truth, like that type shit. We're on that shit. We're just too strong. We're too strong. But anyway, fight fans, love yourselves. I love you guys. I love talking shit about all kinds of shit and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the boxing that we have, yo, let me know in the comments who you guys want to talk about. How do you see that Terrence Crawford fight? Do you think the right winners won this past weekend? And we could talk tonight and stuff. You guys see me this morning and working out too. And I also worked out again. And I still had enough energy to come over here and do this right here because I'm really motivated right now. Because I'm about to whip the OC, the boss's fucking ass, bro. But I haven't been harping on it or really promoting the fight until the 25th. Like, I'm going to pump my brakes. Because there's no need to talk shit behind a microphone. That's like a dude talking shit behind a door that's locked. You know I can't get to you. So don't be no cell warrior, no microphone warrior, or no fucking TikTok warrior. Make sure that your eggs are in a row and the fight is going to happen. The minute, the second I get that book, it's a wrap. All right, fight fans. Love yourselves. Treat each other kind. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. Peace.